In a small village nestled between a whispering forest and a restless sea lived a young man named Adam. Adam was a quiet soul, comfortable in the symphony of crashing waves and the company of seagulls. His heart yearned for adventure, but his feet were rooted to the shore. You see, Adam harbored a secret desire to become a storyteller, weaving tales that would transport listeners to distant lands and make their spirits soar. But as fate would have it, shyness held him back, keeping his gift of storytelling locked away like a treasure in a hidden cave. Every morning, Adam would wake with the sunrise, eager to greet the day. He'd stride down to the shore, kick off his sandals, and wade into the shallows, letting the icy water wash over his feet. There he would stand for hours, enveloped by the sea's embrace, listening intently to the secrets the waves seemed to whisper. It was here by the sea that Adam felt most at peace, most connected to something larger than himself. The vastness of the ocean mirrored the boundless potential within him, a potential he knew existed but couldn't quite access. One day, as Adam was lost in the rhythm of the waves, a hand clapped on his shoulder, pulling him from his reverie. He turned to see his grandfather, Omar, a retired sailor with eyes that held the wisdom of 1,000 journeys. Omar, sensing the turmoil in his grandson's heart, spoke in his gruff but gentle voice. "Why do you stand here every day, Adam? Do you not have stories enough in your head to keep them from spilling out into the sea?" Adam looked at his grandfather, surprised. No one had ever asked him that before. "I have stories, Grandpa," he whispered, "but I'm scared to tell them." "I don't think I can." Omar, with a knowing smile, reached out and handed Adam a small, worn notebook. "Then write them down," he said. "Let the sea listen. Even when people don't, the sea will always listen." And with that, Omar walked away, leaving Adam by the shore with the notebook and a newfound sense of purpose. Adam began to write, pouring his heart and soul into the pages. He wrote about the stars that twinkled in the night sky, each star a distant sun, a silent audience to his whispered dreams. He wrote about the wind that danced through the trees, rustling secrets only the leaves could hear. He wrote about the dreams of fishermen, their hopes and fears as they braved the stormy seas in search of a bountiful catch. As days turned into weeks, Adam's words grew stronger, more confident, echoing the rhythm of the waves. His shyness didn't vanish overnight, but the sea, it seemed, didn't care about that. It listened patiently as Adam shared his stories, offering him a solace he'd never known he needed. Then, one evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the village decided to hold a little festival. The air buzzed with excitement as people gathered in the town square, their faces lit up by flickering oil lamps. And who should appear but Adam's grandfather, Omar, a twinkle in his eye. He cleared his throat and announced to the crowd, "We have a young storyteller in our midst, but he's too shy to share his gift. So I challenge all of you, listen to one of his stories, and if you like it, show your appreciation." The crowd, intrigued by Omar's words, turned their attention to Adam, who stood by the edge of the square, clutching his notebook. Nerves gnawed at him, but remembering his grandfather's words, he began to read. As Adam's voice filled the square, the wind seemed to hush, carrying his words to every corner of the village. The townspeople listened, their faces reflecting the emotions woven into Adam's tale. When he finished, there was a moment of silence, a pregnant pause that stretched on, broken only by the distant sound of waves crashing against the shore. Then, as if awakened from a dream, the crowd erupted into applause. Young and old, they cheered and stomped their feet, their voices echoing the joy that filled their hearts. A young child, wide-eyed with wonder, asked for another story, and Adam, his initial nervousness forgotten, smiled and delved back into his notebook, ready to share another tale. The sea, it seemed, had finally found its voice in him, and now it sang through him to the world.